Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about FC Barcelona's finances and how much Barcelona have earned in the Champions League. The reason why I am so inspired to make a video like this is because somebody asked me, what is like Barcelona's finances? How much have we earned in the Champions League? This is going to be the question that he gave me, coming from Uranus69. Which players should Barcelona get rid of for the next season, and what is the financial situation of the club now that we got some money from the Champions League? What are the perfect expected signings next season for FC Barcelona to keep competing at the highest level? So, as you can see in this question, what he mainly wanted to ask is, who should we sign in the summer of 2025, right? Like, what is the most expected signings? I don't want to talk about that for today. I mainly want to talk about like what he said, like now that we have some money from the Champions League. I want to talk about that, but not about who are we expected to sign, because I just feel like because we're in this moment of, you know, the Champions League semifinals and the fact that we have to win La Liga, there is no reason for us to say that this player should leave and that this player should come in, right? It's just not healthy. We have to go all in, not talk about any other player. We'll talk about that after, I would say, the Champions League campaign is over, or maybe after we do win La Liga. Then I'll say, okay, because we only have like a match left, which is the Champions League final. I would just say that after La Liga, after we hypothetically win it, because things can still happen in these next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll speak about exactly what players should Barcelona sign and what we are missing, right? Because I already do have like a lot of analysis and a lot of players that could sportingly really fulfill what this Hansi Flick team does need. But I do want to focus on the financial aspects, because without the finances, without any money, how are we even gonna like sign these players that we do want? But you know, that is why I do want to make this video, to give you guys better clarity on what Barcelona's finances are looking like and how much we have earned. As you can see on the title, right, so this is going to be the main key takeaway. Barcelona have earned 116.65 million euros so far in the Champions League alone. That is massive income. That is a lot of income, which means, right, I'm going to give out some other key takeaways, and we're going to run it through this video. These earnings are basically up to the semifinals of the first leg stage, right? And then we also have further earnings depend on advancing to the final, possibly winning the tournament. So this money could further extend if we do hypothetically go to the final. And then point number 3, earnings came from the UEFA prize money, performance bonuses, and market-related shares. So, earning breakdown by category, as we can see here. This is going to be it. This is how much money we have earned that led up to 116.65 million euros. Look at the participation fee, 18.6 million. The wins in league phase, right? All those wins that we have gotten through the table, we have earned 12.6 million. Then we went to the draws in the league phase. We have earned 0.7 million. Performance-based league bonuses, right? The shares, 10.4. It says here the explanation. Bonus based on team performance and standings in the league phase, because we did so well, right? Our performances were amazing. Hence the reason why 10.4 million euros was given to us on top of the 18.6, the 12.6, the 0.7 million, etc. Round of 16 qualification, the fact that we went into the round of 16, we qualified and we didn't have to play in the round of 32 or whatever. We have earned 13 million euros because of this. It's insane, right? And then the quarterfinal qualifications, because we have gone through the quarterfinals and we had to go through Borussia Dortmund. We beat them. We have earned another 12.5 million euros. And then comes the semifinals qualifications, the fact that we went into the semifinals and the fact that we are going to go up against Inter Milan, and we have already tied against Inter Milan 3-3. We have earned 15 million euros. It says here the explanation, bonus added after beating Borussia Dortmund. And then we do have the market pool, another source of income. This is based on the market value and national TV income. We have earned 22.44 million euros, right? So once again, insane. And I believe part of the reason why we have earned so much on this aspect of you know, the financials is because we play very beautiful football. People want to see us, and that's it. That's why it is important for us to play in the way that we do. We attract a lot of customers. And then we do have the UEFA 10-year coefficient bonus, and that is where they gave us 11.41 million euros. This reward is based on historical European performances. So all in all, looking at all of this prize money that we have gained so far, it is 116.65 million euros. Once again, if you look at the explanation, this is the amount that excludes possible bonuses for reaching final or winning. So it's going to go even further than that. Now, what is left, right? Now let's move on towards the upcoming matches. As we can see here, for the upcoming matches, we have the semifinal second leg. Okay, obviously we have to face Inter Milan at San Siro on May 7th or May 6th, I believe. I forgot which date was it. But Barcelona drew 3-3 in the first leg at the Estadio Olímpic. If we qualify for the final, okay, if we defeat Inter Milan, we will have another 18.5 million euros given to us for reaching the final. And then if we win the final, we'll get a further 16.5 million euros extra if we beat either PSG or Arsenal, depending on who makes it to the final. So there's still a lot of money to be made. And it's just insane to see just how much we have gained so far simply by just progressing through these different stages. So now let's move on towards the prize money structure context, which I believe is very important. Right? If we the UEFA's total prize pool is 2.47 billion in total for the 2024-2025 season. And the reason why is because this new Champions League format, it does introduce more games. 36 teams, league phase with 8 matches each is insane. Barcelona was one of the top earners after the group stages because we got 90 million euros after the league phase. I believe that one of the other teams that made a lot of money was Liverpool. Obviously, they were in first place. Barcelona were in second. So can you imagine how much they have earned, even though they have been disqualified from the Champions League? Like I said, now we do have 116.65 million euros after the semifinal qualification. And for additional context that I believe is going to help us a lot, this revenue does not include match day income, meaning ticket sales, etc. Okay, this is just simply prize money. The return leg performance will determine if they can boost total of 41.65 million euros in total. Okay, so once again, if we make it to the final and we win it, there is a possibility that we might get a total of 141 million euros that we have earned, right, with the Champions League trophy. Match day and museum revenues have dipped due to playing at the Estadio Olímpic stadium instead of the Spotify Camp Nou. Champions League income is vital for financial stability. There is still wage cap issues, obviously, stadium renovation costs that we have to make, debt repayments, obligations. And this is what's kind of going to lead us towards the next conversation in a few minutes about how Barcelona are performing in the league in terms of the financials. Because we know that in La Liga, we're tapping that ass on Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. We're 4 points above Real Madrid. So it's fine, right? But we're going to be talking about how it looks like for La Liga in terms of financials for FC Barcelona. But, right, more context. I want to talk about more things. Just to wrap things up, the potential earnings for FC Barcelona if they reach the final is 18.5, just because, because they reached the final. If they win it, 6.5 million euros. In total, 25 million euros on top of what we have already gotten. So that's good. And so in conclusion, right? In conclusion, as of May 2nd, 2025, Barcelona have earned 116.65 from the Champions League campaign. The final number is expected to rise above 140 million euros, once again, if we progress further. And so now let's move on towards La Liga. Because now we're going to be stepping away from all of this prize money, all of this performance bonuses. This is going to have nothing to do with the Champions League whatsoever. Okay, nothing. This is going to be for the league. And if you guys look at the headline here, all of this information that I have gotten was reported back on October 2024. We have no further information about what everything looks like right now in terms of Barcelona's financial health as of May 2nd, 2025. Okay, so this was reported damn near 7 months ago. Some of this may be outdated, but this is the latest information. Hopefully, John Laporta can give more, I would just say, financial updates in July or something, because we want to know. We want to know how this Champions League money has affected us, and how much income do we have, how many expenses did we make, etc. What can we afford? What's the profit, etc. So this was reported back on October 2024. 893 million euros in revenue that was reported and what was expected for this season. Spending 873 million euros, which means that we have made we have made a 5 million euro expected profit. Okay, which is huge news, because we have always ended, and especially in the past like 3 seasons, we have always ended in a net loss. We have lost money, but we have made a 5 million euro profit this season, and this was again reported back in October, and that is what they were expecting. So this was good news. Okay, this put us in the green spot. And to kind of like wrap things up, league difficulties is always going to be there, right? Like, even though we do have this profit of 5 million euros, we still have the debt payments that we have to make. We have the salary limits. These are things that we still have to fix. We'll see how the Champions League income and how much we have earned does improve our financial health, how much profit we're going to end up making, what Javier Tebas is going to allow us to do in order for us to sign the players that we want, aka, like Nico Williams, maybe Jokeres, maybe Vanderson, maybe Ta, or whoever. The salary cap issue is still something that we have to really take care of. So we move on towards the last key point, which is how can Barcelona stay financially healthy? And it's going to come down to 3 different things. As of right here, you have to fully reopen the Spotify Camp Nou, but that won't be expected until the 2026-2027 season to bring back big match day revenues. We need that because they're going to be opening to, I believe, 110,000 people, right? That is going to be the capacity. In the Camp Nou previously, it was holding like 95 to 100,000 people, but now they're going to be extending this to 110,000 people. That's a lot, right? That is a lot. So point number 2, negotiate a better deal with Nike, which is something that we have not heard whatsoever. No updates. Remember, back in the summer of 2024, we were talking about the Nike deal, that we're going to be receiving this money, upfront bonus of 110 million euros and 100 million euros or something like that every season for the next 10 years. We have not gotten any updates. I wish I could give you guys some updates, but we don't have anything. We don't have a single word about what happened between that deal. Maybe the deal is already completed, but they don't want to announce that. They do not want to announce that to us until maybe July or June or whatever. But negotiate a better deal with Nike. They want the biggest kit sponsorship in the world. That is what Barcelona want. John Laporta even said that. And then point number 3, we need to keep growing our sponsorship, merchandise, and digital income revenue instead of selling important club assets like what we have done in the past 3 years. If we can do all those things, I believe that Barcelona will be in the correct spot for everything. Okay, so we have been doing really good in the Champions League. In terms of sporting performance, we have been making great income, right? It's a lot of money that we have made. Hopefully that does positively impact us in the transfer window going into the summer. Once again, it's insane to know that a team like Real Madrid can spend a lot of money on their players. I don't want to get into that right now, but yeah. And we're doing really good in La Liga, I would say. So we'll see what Javier Tebas has in store for us and what he would allow us to do in order for us to sign the players that we want, right? Going back to the question that Uranus69 asked, I would love to tell you the players that we should sign, but obviously none of that will matter in the first place if we don't have the blessing or the access to sign the players that we do want to, even though we're making a lot of money in the Champions League. 116.65 million euros so far is really good, and it's not going to stop there. If Barcelona progress after Inter Milan and going for the final and winning the final, that could go upwards to 142 million euros. So, once again, speaking about players right now, it doesn't make a lot of sense if we don't have the money for it. And hopefully this gave you guys some clarity on where Barcelona is at today. Once again, in terms of what we talked about for La Liga and all the income and the fact that we made 5 million euros in profit after all the expenses were made from the revenues that we made, that is very much outdated, but it is the last piece of information that we have gotten globally from the media, because it was taken back on October of 2024. So that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.